You're welcome back to the Epic Morning Show on Epic Radio 99.3 FM around the world on myepiconline.com, Choice FM, Radio Garden, Radio Zimi on Facebook, and Sefude Live on YouTube at Epic Radio 99.3 FM. Introducing Reverend Father Dr. Leonard O. Bangura, we are the head of the political science department of the Fuabe College. Good morning, Doctor. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. Just a point of correction. I was head, but I handed over a couple of months ago.
Couple of minutes ago?
No, a couple of months ago. So I'm no longer the head of the department. I'm just a senior lecturer at the Department of Political Science.
And how this make you feel, Reverend?
Yeah, well, transition of power. You're not fine for make you hold on to power for too long. Now that's what they teach. And so we don't want to be the people who are really teaching and then not implementing what we are teaching. So
the many people where they make waves in this country, you've taught a lot of young folks, a lot within in high political offices today, where they do very well in governance. How this they make you feel, saying for say your knowledge, you're able to share knowledge with many thousands of many people where they do well in the country?
Indeed, I don't lecture many places because, like for example, I don't lecture Unimark for a couple of years. Then from there, I don't come for a big college. I be the Unimtech as well, and then of course, I be also the serve as external examiner for Injala for the political science department. Now, I enjoy always that I contribute to society, and especially in the ambit of politics. Politics that get everything in a country, and then they decide for everything. Then they decide on the economy, on welfare, on security, and even now on the constitution of this nation.
Hey, I want to ask you an obvious question. I'm very sure of it. APC politicians and SLPP coins where they create this headache here and there. You teach them?
Yeah, across the board.
You advise them?
Well, when you come to politics, you get the classroom politics, and then you have the politics outside there. Because politics of itself, now about the governance of the state and for the common good. But then when people enter into politics, they can get their own ambitions and party goals, and they also personal ambitions which they want to implement. Mm-hmm. And so many times we can see a mismatch between the theory and the practice. What we teach in a classroom, many times they only implement them. Because also the political landscape out there, they vary. We not theoretic now, what it ought for be. Now what it now is, this problem of what is and what ought to be. Mm-hmm. Now these are the problem. We they teach what politics should be. But then they practice within politics actually be out there, the competition for stay in power and for retain your power, we stay in power. This is exactly the gymnastics they play.
Yeah, now you teach them in the tactics them of politics and political science.
Well, we teach them correct ones, but many times
they can do the wrong ones outside. Well, Dr. Bangura, I want to give me a broader context. What do you make of the current political landscape of Salone?
You see, the political landscape of Salone is very important that you ask this question. We are at a threshold where we for actually decide for the good of this nation. Talking about we nation at the moment, we talk about amendment of the Constitution. Within the Constitution. The Constitution is the supreme law of the country. But then, if you allow me for make maybe this an opportunity for make a really give small teaching to the audience, for me they understand within a law, because the Constitution and the law, the supreme law of the country. Thomas Aquinas, he teach now in give the best definition so far of within a law. Law means for him now an ordinance of reasoning promulgated by the competent authority for the common good. All the things they are, now then we look at when we talk about law. the law get for be reasonable, it get for make sense, it get for convince, it get for be something we not acceptable one by everyone. That's one. Of course, promulgated officially, the launch them, the gazette them, whatever you call it, then by the competent authority. Like in this case, we are talking about the constitution of the country. Now the parliamentarians, the legislators, now then gets that, and in all of them, now them they agree because and then they represent we. They're not only promulgated by the competent authority, but also it serves common good, not sectoral good, not partisan good. For me, what they see in these days they play is that we really forget what is really the law actually be and what it is supposed to be. Enough for be something where only it benefits a few, or it benefits one political party and it disadvantages another political party. Why can they talk this? This same amendment, when APC be in power, this will be one of the recommendations of the Kawan Committee for Constitutional Review. The APC be want endorse them. The SLPP be kick against her. Now SLPP in power, they want endorse APC the kick against them. So this is exactly where they see politicians. Let us come together. Once they serve the common good of this nation, if we be in power, we be one implementer. The opposition kick against her. Opposition no can empower, they want implementer, we kick against her. It means there is something fundamentally not correct.
Yes. Dr. Bangura, exactly. Yes. You think, say, because when the APC was in power, well, let me recommend this 50+1 and the PR. Now they are in opposition. The ruling SLPP, then they recommend it. They are now saying we want to implement those same things. You think the PR and that 50+1 can tend for benefits the ruling party?
Well, this message here, directly we they get, say, the implementation of this particular amendment in this direction, they seem for benefits, for advantage, the ruling party, the party in power, and so now make the opposition. So now a clear message where they show to we say something there about this amendment we not correct. Why is it that when they were in power, they were implementer and the opposition be say no, and now opposition don't kind of power, and now the one that will be there in power at the moment, then they don't in power now, they're in opposition. This the one implementer now. We now will be the supporters today. We now say no. So that means fundamentally there is something in that amendment where it stands for benefits the ruling power, the ruling party, and so that make this whole confusion that take place. So therefore, as an analyst, they go into, we get what we call the spirit of the law in academia, in jurisprudence. Baron de Montesquieu, if he writes a whole book about the spirit of the law, what's it mean? The law itself, it gets something behind them when they look for. And now that's something we have to talk about, the common good. For example, let me talk about a law. We talk, say, like now we get the traffic lights. The red, it means say, for go, for move and stop. But then there's an emergency in which, if you carry somebody sick, the law will allow you for make you breach that red traffic because you carry an emergency. You want to save somebody in life. And so this is exactly, the law itself is serve the common good. And so it will be for the common good. And therefore, in this amendment that they propose, we will look for the common good, not to the good of that in a power at that moment. But something where it be say, whether you're in power or you're out of power, equally, you are not disadvantaged for anything.
So it is the ruling SLPP, you think, bullying the APC in this?
It's obvious. Why made they push for and you see the majority of everything, then they push for them because it stand for make it give them more advantage, leverage in the politicking. And so then they push for them. And the APC, then they say, if this, they actually endorse them, they stand for this, for be at a disadvantage. So that means they push all within their might for me to make sure, say, this bill not pass.
Dr. Bangura, what do you make of what happened yesterday in a parliament? Before we go into the voting itself, what we see happen and the passing of the amendment bill, what do you make of the APC walking out ahead of the vote?
Well, a political strategy in the use. Why the strategy? We in political science, we know say guarantee no day for them in the secret ballot. That in the secret ballot, something can happen that people will defect from one party to the other. And they feel say maybe their members, go one or two, will get the possibility for make it defect.
Perhaps so, the ruling could all lobby to some members of the APC.
Me no go use that word, but something like that can play. Because in politics, you get what they happen at the well of parliament, you get what they happen behind closed doors and at the corridors of power.
So you think because the APC leadership not get trust for, say, members of parliament go really vote against the bill yesterday in the secret ballot, they make them just decide for just walk out. Then they can get the assurance for say yes, nobody no go participate if we walk out.
Yeah, because then the SLPP, for example, they know say in their own common sense and everything, nobody knows come he can vote against them. But in the other side, on the opposition, anything can happen. And so then I make them take a party decision, say the best thing we will do for make we ensure everything that this thing will pass, the best decision is for make we walk out. And so they walk out because give the vote, the two-thirds majority we require for make them pass the bill. So because of that, and that an entrenched clause that the Constitution that in this for an amendment of this nature, it need the House of Parliament, the two-thirds majority of the parliamentarians for make them agree before ever then go pass. So then, so to speak, they just cripple the process.
Dr. Bango, I think it's not be the right decision APC parliamentarians they make yesterday for walkout. Maybe the right one. Other options to be there at the table.
Well, me no go able to talk on behalf of the APC party, but what no more I go say for them na a strategy na one day we guarantee them position. Any other strategy for them, I think, then think say, if I don't get somebody or one or two people will go undermine the process and sabotage or decide otherwise for other reasons. So then feel say these are the correct decision for them.
In the interest of good politics, that voting they will see happen. You think if it don't happen, the just one side of parliament, well, including the paramount chiefs, they win a member of parliament, including the majority, all of the SLP parliamentarians, them votes for pass the bill into law yesterday. What do you make of that?
Yeah, the process is valid, but that don't mean say the bill has been passed because the two-thirds majority they don't reach the two-thirds majority we required by the Constitution. But that don't mean say the process itself is invalid. No, only that they don't prove say the process was done. Only that with this situation they're not able to reach the two-thirds majority.
I don't understand, Doctor. It's not invalid, but it is.
Yeah, the process. The process it takes place.
Yes.
But the required votes we go allow for me the bill pass, they not reach the required votes.
So we make the process invalid because it not pass the bill into law.
No, the process is invalid, but then the results now match up to within the Constitution prescribe.
What do you think of what do you believe the Supreme Court? Whose decision, given the experience, you think the Supreme Court go make in this because the Speaker of Parliament say go send it to the Supreme Court
for advice.
Yes, for advice.
Yes, exactly. Well, me no go able to speak on behalf of the Supreme Court actually, but what me go say na this that the Supreme Court itself again for be very careful. Because why? This no to kalo business. Now an amendment we get for affect the nation, the future of this country, it get for affect them. And so for anything of this nature, if they get for change back, it get for be another constitutional amendment. Now that make no to something we will just rush over like that. And it gets many political implications. Where they make the parties that were involved, they know that the SLPP and the APC, they know the political implications of this. So now that make, for me, I go advise the Supreme Court themselves, then get for be very slow and for look into this. For me, it's really safe, I go even advise. Then go back, if it's possible, we call for a referendum. A wider say about this issue.
Let's say a union says vote.
Yeah.
Not just members of parliament.
Although already they don't do the consultations and every other thing because like even the Interreligious Council, the civil society and others, they all say something. But if it come now, really we go because it's not stalemate to not reach now. Maybe if the situation don't reach this stage, it go find for make we send them back to the people and the people them vote now.
Yeah, still in the sense if MPs cannot decide, let people the wider population decide on whether or not to approve or for vote against them.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I ask you, yes,
they can go back for more deliberations. They can do an hybrid way. They will try for make them put them, just be like blatantly PR system like this. It could be half PR system, half first past the post, or even the 50.1. They will get something where they will put around and we will ensure that the political landscape, not the advantage or the disadvantage anybody. So for me, this is not the end of the thing. It opened back to more deliberations. It opened back to alternatives. Other than we just come and say, either this or that. No. For me, throw it back to the parliamentarians. Now, let us deliberate which we want together. How we want them. We, go advantage, go disadvantage anyone. And for the posterity of this nation, that future generations then get for bank on this. Because amendments of the Constitution, not to see they take place just like that overnight. No. Mm-hmm. So, Nana make no tradition the way for rush at. No tradition way, it would just, no, even the Supreme Court, because it get for go into the history of this nation. If Supreme Court, whatever ruling it take, or
which one will you expect?
I'm not go able to say anything for now.
Okay,
Dr. Because, easy for make, let's say they decide.
Dr. Bangura, given your knowledge and experience, whose electoral system you think say could be better for Salon? Is it the PR or the first past the post?
Well, they all get the advantages and disadvantages. But usually we can call it, we say, situation ethics. Any country getting your reality. For example, in the West, like Europe, for example, most of them they practice PR system. The majority of countries, out of 28, I think 21 or so, they practice PR system. But then we get for look at the African situation. Not before stop for going to borrow things then they're not adaptable to real situation. Like real situation, what is the problem of the PR system? It's fine for make, yes, as we they say, they bring in more inclusion. But then what we see in the last, now only 2 parties ending a parliament. So the minor parties, they be kick against, they're not able to get the threshold. So the threshold not being that much at all, because the threshold was high, 11.9% of votes before ever you go get a seat.
Yes.
So it can be, these are one of the disadvantages. Another disadvantage where the PR system get now, the loyalty now mostly onto the party, not to the electorate.
Yeah, like we've seen the APC parliamentarians displaying, the APC and the SLPP parliamentarians.
So, you see, even before, when we began the first past the post, some of the parliamentarians, they don't they go to their constituencies. They hardly go there. So now, if you can get a system where, in fact, the loyalty now first to the party, because it's happen in the PR system, you vote for the party. You don't as such they vote for the person, yes, but the party is symbol and so the party in the new candidate. Then we go even give candidates we know to of your choice, but now a candidate. And that candidate they you don't get that loyalty, the proper loyalty not to the party and not to the people. And so it will get a mismatch now. And so these are one of the problems there. We in fact we situation in Africa, in Sierra Leone to be specific, we need parliamentarians where we go come and listen to we real problems in our community. Bridge, school, hospital, cemetery, and other things. But if you get a parliamentarian way in loyalty, now primarily to the party, then what do they call the promise of politics? We for the welfare of society, then we're not able to reach that promise of politics. We're not able to answer and really provide for the people and the community. So for me, this is the problem that we will see with the PR system. We give for land for use and apply within applicable now situation, within the best now situation.
Okay.
And not only for make we copy, within really best for situation. Parliamentarians, they are there to represent their people. This is not one of the functions from the 3 functions, representation. But if you don't get that representation, then what's at the end, what's at the use, what's at the utility?
I mean, will they use the current parliament is a PR parliament, and you get the majority of the unions them, what they call we every single Inside the Morning show, saying that we don't even know that I'm a member of parliament, and we've not been seeing him partaking in any issues where they affect the community. We'd have to go complain to where problem they arise. It's more like Dr. Bangura, which you don't say it's like the PR is not good for Sierra Leone.
At this time, the PR will be the best system as it is now. As the PR system is now.
Yeah, even if they reach the threshold for winning a seat.
Yeah, well, maybe if they reach the threshold and then make sure that the parliamentarians then for be answerable to them people, then maybe. For me, I know they rule out automatically say the PR system is not good, but the PR system as it is now, the one way we don't adopt so, not to the most appropriate for the good of this nation. If we able to go into them and look into them and get some other amendments, some changes and adaptations, then I will vouch for them. But okay, the other arguments the other is well, the first past the post, we forget by elections and by elections with scam, violence and other things. Election, whatever, whether not by election, not by election, as long as elections, you get the propensity for make violence erupt. So for me, the PR system will be good if we adopt and we change them, adapt them small to our own reality. We will now see only APC and SLPP in power.
Okay, Doctor, do stay with us. Let me just talk to Abubakar Fomba Swari Esquire, winner legal and socio-political commentator. Good morning. Welcome to the Epic Morning Show.
Yes, morning to the members there in the studio, and good morning to Cumberland down there.
Yes, as a legal expert, take us through on the position of the law. What do you make of what happened yesterday? The walkout of the APC in Parliament and parliamentarians, the Speaker of Parliament approving of parliamentarians voting even without the overall 2/3 majority in the House and passing the bill.
Well, thank you very much for that. I want to preface me answer with few, I would say, disclaimers. Me
Hello?
that knowledge of waiting with political and legal landscape of Sierra Leone don't look like over the time. In 2 months back when I was still there on Epic Radio, I make it clear to the people of Sierra Leone generally that there is nothing Sierra Leoneans can achieve when we leaders, particularly in the well of parliament, choose for walkout, whether it be that they're not able to manage the differences, they're not able to understand the reason why they are there in parliament. So I have gone down the record to go against or perhaps oppose any move by any political party. It doesn't matter whether it's APC, it's SLPP. We believe the people and vote them for a reason, and that is why they are all congregated in one space in order to decide on behalf of the people of Sierra Leone. So barring that, we come now to the aspect of this whole constitutional threshold saga. At this very moment, we all they look at this thing from multiple angles. However, as I would say from a legal standpoint, I'm not going to address matters specifically relating to constitutional references, because by the fact that I do so, it might be difficult for further explain down there to somebody where perhaps go to listen to me from a very little house where one for understand what's in the go on. But this is not the crucial thing where I just want for say. The crucial legal question about the 2/3 of this majority, this is not probably one of the most important issue if you want to analyze actually this parliamentary voting system. The wording see, if it be 2/3 of the members of parliament. Please take note, this relates not for an ordinary bill of parliament being passed. This is about the constitution of Sierra Leone, the grand norm, however settled this entire book is. We all agree, honestly say, not entirely perfect. But however, it states perfectly clear about the 2/3 majority. And so the 2/3 of the members of parliament not present and voting. It simply says 2/3 of the members of parliament. Now that very distinction there, you will see, Alex, in a simple wording, but it gets enormous consequences. Let's assume now, as we know, now 149 members of parliament, they sit at parliament, that's right?
Mm-hmm.
Amongst that, if 120 members of parliament are they attend and are then vote, that's not a make 2/3, because that's 2/3 of that number of 120 would be about 80. I'll still have to get to that. But at the end of the day, if you get 100, you understand, say, by constitutional requirement, we're supposed to satisfy that formula. So that is a formula for the 2/3 of members of parliament. And the constitutional formulation points out for, say, if you want to get that 2/3 in the current parliament as constituted, it has to be about 100 members of parliament. And this is not coming from me. In late June, the chairman, obviously, of the legislative committee make a comment about what they mean by achieving the threshold of the 2/3 of members of parliament. And look, we don't need to forget where all of this started from. Since 2023, when the elections were over, we've been getting this problem of everybody questioning the elections and others giving their opinion. But then they came together to the seat and say, let us set up a tripartite committee to look at where we have gone wrong and now try to correct these mistakes from provisions in the constitution were not entrenched. All right. So what do they deal with now? Provisions, then when are unentrenched provisions of the constitution will require 2/3 of the majority. By yesterday's voting, it not reach about, I think it's about 97, and let's say that it's about 3 more or 2 more at least, we're forgiving about that 2/3 day. So that majority threshold is not, in my own personal estimation and by my own calculation, not met. Now, let's imagine this parliamentary configuration, all right? Government assuming gets 85 MPs, meaning the SLPP, and the opposition might have, let's say, about 64 members of parliament. Why this really matter politically now for ensure, say, a single incumbent government not use the opportunity for politically muzzle an opposition? Why this is important now for let them create a serious, precious balance in the democratic setting in the state where every party, political party, consider themselves as valid, valuable and important to the entire national political discourse. But this again can get in backlash. There are some dangers to these things. Now, the supermajority rule, now they call this the supermajority rule. It gets in advantage, but it also gets a serious cost where it can cause. The 2/3 threshold, it can able for protect constitutional stability. Now, one of the key reasons why it was placed there, but also it produce what they call constitutional rigidity. Outside the rigidity can come out now where the opposition members of parliament, perhaps the opposition party, refuse for cooperate for purely partisan reason. I would want to repeat this on this radio. For if they refuse for participate for purely partisan reasons, and what perhaps members of this public yesterday knows view is the fact that the entire thing itself gets a lot to do with purely partisan, consideration. Every single person knows some of the provisions in the Constitution as they place them. It makes a lot of sense. For example, for let them make sure say the president not sack vice president. These were excellent provision for let them make sure say the government able for reduce cost for stop for do election by this how do they call it? This now first past the post or proportional representation. All of these are uniquely important, but you cannot just simply walk out for partisan reason on partisan grounds.
Basically, you think the action by APC MPs yesterday for walkout of the well of parliament is because of their own personal, because it doesn't benefit them as politicians.
My brother. I'm coming. Excellent. So let me give you one key example. When there was a time, I have forgotten the exact timeline because there's so much more to reference here in this short time. When there was a time when they increased the salaries, emolument, or whatever of the members of parliament, you saw them walking out. Why would they not walk out when it's about increasing the salaries for teachers, for police officers, for other people where they serve the public out there? You would simply come to understand it's simply a matter of color. And I don't say this many times on analysis. Sierra Leone not be able for progress if we not focus on unifying the divide where currently you don't need for be expert for no say right now Sierra Leone divide on strictly colors and political lines. This will not enable a democracy. This not bring development. And again, another thing where see perhaps where we all need for observe is that we get this attitude now of incumbent government now seeing a problem. Anytime when they're in power, that's the time they see a problem in the Constitution. When the APC was in power, they were the ones seeing the problems in the Constitution that we should amend. And when the SLPP comes to power, they are the ones seeing the problems in the Constitution that we need to amend. I'm not saying amending Constitution is wrong and it's bad, but let us do it simply out of genuine love and foresight for the country itself and its people. I think standing at the central place of within governance supposed to look like and mean. But all the same as I tell you, the threshold as from me on personal analysis and reading, of course, throughout the Constitution, we see a matter of unentrenched clauses relating to certain number. And if you say the number was just placed there for ordinary reasons, they were placed there for enormous significant reasons that ought to be considered by every member participating there.
So the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Senge Paul Solomon Thomas, say it is seek for advice from the Supreme Court on whether or not this will be valid or not for say MPs them, 2/3 of MPs them, we present, even if it's not the overall 2/3 of members of parliament in the 6th parliament, vote for this bill into law. So what do you expect, say, the Supreme Court, the ruling of the Supreme Court? You think then go approve of this latest action by parliament?
Well, look, generally, I cannot speak to what the Supreme Court would do. That is why initially
which you expect for happen? Which you expect for big decision?
In fact, if I tell you the expectation of the decision, you might come to see it that Honorable Segepo na interesting, I would say, na political sportsmanship he plays. So, all right. My expectation is that the Supreme Court would go and look at it and perhaps make a declaration that when it comes in terms of certain procedures of Parliament and certain proceedings, especially when it relates to the Speaker of Parliament, no other court of the land no get right for get through this. And I'm saying this out of, I don't want to reference the special provision in the Constitution, but we might have an interesting balance where the Supreme Court might just look at it and say, look, the Supreme Court in fact not gets, according to them, by that provision where they have in mind now, to say that, look, when the Parliament don't sit and don't pass a particular provision and the Speaker don't put a pass on them, the Supreme Court then not get much for do on them. And in fact, the law states that no other court not get for inquire into them. So by perhaps as an interesting overlap, yes, I might expect that maybe that the Supreme Court go end up for do, as we all perhaps get a different ways. Others might see it from a different perspective.
As in Supreme Court saying we approve of waiting happen at Parliament.
Well, if the Supreme Court say they approve of waiting happen at Parliament, it not go come too much as a shock or a surprise to some of we were long time don't they analyze the judicial as well as the general political space in Sierra Leone. As we all know, the Supreme Court entirely able sit down and do the thorough analysis. They'll have to go through the records. In fact, they get for do deeper than all of we own superficial statements that we all they make across the media line today and tomorrow and next tomorrow. They are a broad and matured level of wise heads. They would have to sit down and look at the provision, look at whether all of these things match up. But my expectation is that not just that the Supreme Court perhaps might approve, but also the Supreme Court might give certain guidelines or maybe suggest certain guidelines with respect to parliamentarians, especially aggrieved parliamentarians, whether they are from APC, SLPP, or whichever political party, from using it as, habitually for walkout whenever they are dissatisfied. To understand that they are men, they have to sit there and face whatever challenge and express their opinions in a way where it's much more mature than just simply walking out, saying that on behalf of the people of Sierra Leone, which I don't support and I will never continue to support it.
Abubakar Fombasware, Esquire, legal and socio-political commentator. Thank you so much for your time this morning here inside the Epic Morning Show.
A pleasure. Thank you more.
Yes, Dr. Bangura, you know, from the lawyer there on what he make, what he expects for say the Supreme Court may not go, sometimes not go even do a lot on this, saying because it has been already passed in Parliament and the Speaker of Parliament already approve of them, they cannot say much.
Yeah, Usman. Well, referencing from my last discussion, Naya mentioned that the Constitution is the supreme law of the country. And it's very clear that in the case of this nature, it talks about the 2/3 majority of parliamentarians. Well, in clarify, yes, the 2/3 majority doesn't mean the entire body of parliamentarians or the parliamentarians present in the will of parliament. But then with this work out, now a very critical position. Like I insiam, na so abisiam that now a very tricky situation where the Supreme Court says therefore be very careful because amendments not to really just take place like that, and it affects future generations and the political landscape of this country. You know, as I mentioned, something there about this amendment where it gets a problem. The APC want the similar amendment. The SLPP by then kick against them. Now the SLPP wants them. Now the APC they kick against them. So fundamentally that's an indication that something the way they give a competitive an advantage to the ruling party if they pass this bill.
So if the APC when they in government push for this, say it could be in the best interest of the nation.
Yeah.
Now in the opposition saying it's not good for the nation. You think, say, well, in the initial, wouldn't be introduced initially, wouldn't propose initially, it also be for the best interest of the country, but it's because it gets for benefits the APC.
Yeah, likewise as it is happening now. Now the same scenario now in the play out. Now just exchange of baton. So therefore, now that make, if in the past it was problematic for the opposition, now it is problematic for the opposition, then it means something there about these amendments were not correct. And so let we go back to the drawing board. Let we deliberate and let we look into RAM and put things them in place. So many other things that we then suggest, yes, in the amendments, good. But now then two major one there, now then at the bone of contention. And a serious bone of contention because it play on the politicians themselves and the members of parliament and the parties. Now them, this thing they affect either positively or negatively, depending on which side we they rule. So therefore, let we create the level playground where whether you're in opposition or in a ruling party, applicable, the advantage, the disadvantage.
Okay. We get on the line Honorable Mohammed Fofana, Member of Parliament of the SLPP in Cambia District. Honorable Fofana, good morning. Welcome to the Epic Morning Show.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Good morning, listeners.
Honorable, you said vote for the amendments bill yesterday.
Say that again?
You said vote in favor for the amendments bill without the APC?
Of course. I vote for the bill. I not only vote for the bill, I vote on behalf of the Cambia people and I vote on behalf of the people of Sierra Leone.
And on behalf of the SLPP?
On behalf of the people of Sierra Leone and on behalf of the people in Cambia, I not vote on behalf of SLPP.
Okay.
I vote on behalf of the people of this country because I didn't get the bill, I didn't get the constitution. So I voted on behalf of my people.
Honorable Fofana, you think that be the right decision for lay as MPs, SLPP, for not vote for the bill even without the total 2/3 majority? You think it's a good precedent one set yesterday?
Well, we not set a precedent. We require somebody in opinion, either a bad or good precedent. We set a historical precedent. A historical precedent we don't overdue for over 30 years. We set a precedent. We set a precedent where they in accordance with the provisions that we embedded in the national constitution and in the ethos of the parliament. So we set a precedent where reflects the will of the people. For law amend the constitution where they stand the test of time. A constitution where they come and regulate waiting they happen in our country. The decision for law what we do yesterday now because the people that vote for as 100 members of parliament for make we do the needful. So if one political party walk out, depriving their people of not disadvantage their constituents, when people don't rely on una, then go they say we go fight for we. You go and betray the interest. People that go and undermine the duty who they elect una for. When they elect somebody, it is sworn in, it take an oath, whether the legal framework for protect the rules, the interest of the country and the people who vote you in.
Okay.
If you look at all that way you walk away, that means you don't abandon that sacred sworn in where you take for responsible for defend your country and the people that will vote you in. So what we do yesterday is in alignment of the duties that we were sworn in for, is in alignment of the constitution of Sierra Leone. So I think we'll do the needful on behalf of the people.
I feel proud of the fact for say una just pass a bill in a parliament we very well disputed. The opposition is disputing this. They walked out in protest against the bill. Now we don't pass them. I think it's good for the nation. Now really in the best interest of the country.
I want to make that correction. They not work out because they work out in protest of the bill.
Well,
I think
not,
so,
because they say they not go vote for the clauses them where the government, even with further negotiations with the APC, still not remove and still not resolve them with the APC.
That is still not the issue they worked out for. I think so.
What's your work out for?
I think say the voting process. Then say the voting process supposed to be a voting process where we get a threshold of 2/3. Right, Mr. Speaker, according to section 91(1), we say any question or any decision will get to be resolved by members of parliament in the parliament get to be determined by simple majority of members of parliament present and voting. That is exactly what Mr. Speaker said. That was the model of voting rule for use yesterday. So APC work out not because of disagreement with the bill or dissatisfaction of the content of the bill, but because Mr. Speaker said we will vote clause by clause, and he says section 91(1) that model they would use when a simple majority of members present and voting.
Yes.
APC said no. We should still be a threshold of 2/3, and we should not vote by clauses. We should vote on the bill holistically. But however, let me make this clear. In the first instance, if you remember when I began at the well that day, the first voting will happen where APC themselves participated. The first voting was voting for the consultation clause, the start and nomination and the consultation. That was the first voting. When the leader of government business, Honorable Martin Yuma, put the question. When he put the question, Mr. Speaker asked the question. The minority leader, Honorable Abdul Kabo, he come and say no, he not argue on the speaker in ruling. So when he not argue on the speaker in ruling, that means we have to go into elections. APC participated in that election. You will agree with me. Anybody who been in at the weather, they will agree with me. Say yes, APC participated. Mr. Speaker called for the vote, 91(1), simple majority. He asked, what are they in favor? All the other been in favor. The SLPP bench, the paramount chiefs, and 2 APC members, they voted for that one day. Whether they against, APC stood up, then grabbed them, tin out. That means they then participate in that voting process.
Will not be a simple majority in parliament.
Would that be simple majority present and voting? So they voted for the first.
If they had participated in that first round, when I simple present and voting, it's more like they protested not for that voting system because of the PR and first past the post, the PR and that 50+1.
So you not go justify that until they may call another clause voting, then they refuse to vote or they walk out again. After that voting not pass, then go inside back and call another clause. If you're not good, then we go again and come. But you don't go justify that one day because after that first voting, we then vote. The minority leader rise up and say, well, because of we are not agree the model of voting, where we say for me that is 2/3. Then the speaker said the 91(1), which is simple majority. Then say they didn't agree on that one day. So they rise up debate, and they end up for walkout. So the matter I want to let you know, say it's not because of the bill. It is not because of the disagreement on the clauses of the bill. They worked out because APC not always facing at this country say anything they say no to. Everybody for saying no to it. That is not democracy. In democratic dispensation, we should be able to accommodate each other. APC don't be so dishonest to the commitments them when they don't make this entire process. The leadership of APC, both parliament and secretariat, have gone to so many engagements, the tripartite, the technical engagement when they get at okay, the Justice Kawan, the side consultation when they don't get. The leadership have always agreed, negotiated, consulted, debated on issues that way they say, okay, Lord, give and take. SLPP give this, APC give this. Lord, come together as a nation. We have always agreed. But when we come to implementing those engagements outcomes, then APC always they renege on the commitment when they make. And that is very disappointing. If you go back to the AG expressed in frustration and disappointment with APC and even call names and even say if they put out documents then at the public, for let the public see how dishonest APC the number to the people of this country. You cannot go and get an engagement with people when I agree on different forum, on different platform, on different table when I don't go to them, when I don't agree. Then when I come, when you can implement them now, when I can say, oh no, we will not do it again. The true leadership structure of APC get and unbug them. The secretariats, they go there agree on one thing. The members of parliament leadership wouldn't get, go and agree on other thing. Because of the flag bearer interest they wouldn't get, where everybody get in your interest, then they disagree on everything with them previously agree on. We cannot continue to drive this nation in such a movement. APC and the opposition, they expect them to provide a strong leadership on behalf of the people. Then they represent about 2 to 3 million people in this country. So for provide strong leadership, a leadership where people don't go trust. When I go to agree on something, the tripartite recommendation say 50 plus 1, 25% of 2/3 na the voting districts them. APC agree on that one day. The PR system, APC self make a position paper where they submit to the Justice Cabinet Committee. They agreed on that one day. We can sit down as a government. They agreed, okay, let's look where. When it comes to third reading a parliament, reading these clauses, going page by page, APC come there, you never on the commitments they wouldn't do. That is dishonest.
Okay, Honorable Fofana, what's not the way going now? Is there no turning back in this? This passing of the bill in Parliament will become law?
Well, historically, you will agree with me, say, once a bill has passed in Parliament, it don't become a law. Now we call them bill until it is passed, it is voted on and passed before we call them a law. So once it becomes a law, there's nothing you can do about it until, another structure come back and say maybe after another 20 or 30 or 40 years, then Total Fit okay, I think say no, I don't say I'll go review them. But at this point, I mean the people of Sierra Leone don't do the needful to the representative them. Not to say that SLPP government MPs the number of votes for this bill. We get members of parliament, the one paramount chiefs, the one with traditional leaders them. We get APC SLPP members of parliament them, Mohamed Bangura Thompson, including the entire APC MPs that will be in the parliament who vote for the first clause. They all rise up and vote. That means we're speaking the minds and the will of the people. Once this don't pass, so it don't pass them. But however, the speaker refer certain provisions then now the constitution where kind of people are not able to get a true insight on for say we understand this, and there are issues of public interest. So it's saying, you know what, let us send it to the Supreme Court for clarification. So the speaker don't do that one day. Then for things that want the public interest, let the Supreme Court go, make them interpret and make them put them out there, make people then say and say, okay, this not to because Mr. Speaker talk and say, okay, well, I doubt him. But let's send them to the judicial arm of government, let them go do the needful. But this bill has passed, it has become law. The next stage of this now for put on at the table of His Excellency the President Julius Maada Bio, from he assent on and congratulations to Sierra Leone.
And I expect the President Bio go sign him into law to make it be go sign him.
Of course, and prior to yesterday, you see His Excellency come out on a Sunday evening and make a plea to the people of this country. Tell them, say, we will not vote for me. We will not vote for the government. He said, we will vote for the people of Sierra Leone. We will do the needful. He is willing and ready anytime this document gets available. Now His Excellency in desk. He ready for sign for let it become law in this country for the people of Sierra Leone.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mohamed Fofana, Member of Parliament of the SLPP in Akambia District. Thank you for your time this morning here inside the show.
Thank you for having me.
Dr. Bangura, very quickly before we go for break, sir.
Yeah, well, I don't listen to the Honorable Member of Parliament where we take part in the activity in the event yesterday. Of course, we still speak on behalf of people them, and of course, agree, but on behalf of the party itself, party, because a party position. Now this, not the issue at hand. they speak on behalf of the party. And so because of this, now all the more reason why this thing gets issued. Why is it that almost every party, like, okay, the SLPP, they all voted in for it, and the APC voted against? You know, and like as Isef mentioned, issues are on the way in the all, because when they don't get any personal interest in them, then vote. Like issues of even their welfare or salaries. But when it comes to political issues, we get to do with the welfare, we then get to do with the political mandates, then they disagree. Because for them, they're suspicious of this amendment.
And it will have been the same case if the President Kuruma, former, they actually, this bill, well, the recommendations and the amendments back then, be reached to be advanced at this level during in leadership, the SLPP in Parliament will have voted against the bill. Sure. Because now in 2017, just before, because 2018 we get the change of government. And so the recommendations can be still in process. But already from indications, the SLPP also not be feel comfortable so much about, especially then close there. The other areas of the amendment, they don't get problem with them. But the only thing we get to do with the new feature as politicians, remaining in power or maintaining power. Okay. And so that this is the bone of contention. A way, for me, then supposed to come together and see, you know what, let me look at everything about this clause, about them particular clause there and the amendments, and see which one we go actually, whether you are in power or you're out of power, you're in opposition or you're ruling, you know, they get any effect on you, winner, advantage or disadvantage. We're going to have a very short break. You deal with the Epic Morning Show. After this very short break, 079-994-993.
1xBet. Your game has no limits. In 1x Game section, you'll find hits, crash, burning hot, crystal, western slot. Each game is a separate world with real winnings. Play on website or in the app. Visit the 1xbet.sl and use a SL126 promo code to get a 200% bonus up to 2,800 Sierra Leonean Leones. 1x Games, a world of games, wherever you are.
My dear, have you gone to the clinic yet?
I wanted to wait a little longer.
No, don't wait. Early action saves lives. When you're pregnant, it is a blessing, but every pregnant woman needs care. So go to the hospital early. Take your appointment seriously.
It is not only about you. Your baby also needs care. So take your child to the hospital. Make sure your baby receives all the vaccine that the doctors recommend. Don't stay at home and become your own doctor or your child's doctor. Take action. Come to the hospital.
When mothers come to the hospital, we the nurses will take action to protect them. We will also take action to protect the baby from illness. That is why we give them vaccines. Quick action saves lives. So take action for yourself, take action for your child. Zero starts with action. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, together with the Ministry of Information and Civic Education.
Good afternoon, Freedom. This big brass veranda can also say in Lebanon all. With a big arm, but the big people they pick arm, that not me say, you not be part of a this na Ayejo, all man can enjoy. So Epic Radio, they can reach the return of Epic Odis. Good morning, good afternoon. This will happen na St. Anthony Parish Hall, where they na 6 seats. The date na October 17. Ticket price na 100 million and the time na 7 o'clock na net. That time then now, we go begin pick the music them I say, can't see the mommy them and the pa them. Where the pa them say, then go then inside them bell button, embraces. The mommy them say, but yeah, we know they talk nothing. You say, go kotoku, or kabas not. Now don't they keep all things. You go meet with old party them and meet with new one them. But for the music they hold, then go begin play the one from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, to the 2000 and the millennium now. No snap the small one them. Now they get some, but say, no check past the mommy and the power because now they don't music down there. What they say be rock and roll. I say long life, you defend for yourself. The map of what MIC. Now the comedian the Igwe inside this country. When a Desmond Beya and Igwe condos. So family, what now that town again? One and not say oh this corner working come every Saturday. So we all can enjoy am not so. Bobo, they ain't no go for show your style here because the live band you go for the number now for the bread music next September rain. Epic Radio Monday now. Go ready for the big the kind music game. We go reach. So now young part. Una no can join you here. But I can more because now Ayejo all man depend this one. So Epic Radio they can win the return of Epic this corner will go happen October 17 na St. Anthony Parish Hall for just 100 million and the time na 7 o'clock. Oh, let me go there and go enjoy because we the old one there and the new one there we go meet up the old school because show who shall we under reach.
Good morning, Malaika. Hello.
So for me, this discussion we don't go say na so great for happy because this government like how the border Melvin the talk yesterday about saying pauperism. This is pauperism to the highest degree because if that member of parliament like Gambia the talk say he go vote for the nation, me I dey beg for differ. I dey beg for differ because if they actually know say this bill where they want pass through, they don't want corner any can pauper. Let them call for a referendum. Like how that man they talk na the studio, that political scientist.
Okay.
That is the only solution. But if that man they talk say vote for the people, you don't vote for the people, you vote for your selfish interest. The people then they don't do consultation. Civil society they don't talk. Religious leaders they don't talk. They don't want this here where they want impose for people they so let them go out for a referendum. So be it. These are the proper government.
079-994-993. Call we inside the first segment of the program. We call, please go straight to the point. You get 1 minute for add your voice into the conversation. 079-994-993. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Usman Ibrahim Mara.
Concerned citizen to keep planting. Good morning. Yeah, 1 minute.
God bless. Yes, one thing the parliamentarian and they not get respect for the election. I mean, there is a statement. Democracy is for the people, by the people, and the people. Everything should be centered around the people. There is a prescription in our constitution which says you should hold a referendum. What you make SLPP then believe themselves. And let me use this opportunity for commend APC for them come out and stand out on behalf of the people of Sierra Leone in this sense. We go with them and we expect much from them. Okay. I mean, it's so sad for me all of them that the godly country go down for satisfying selfish so I mean, some men say the peace with the people of Sierra Leone. Because persuade figures for judge some of them at the end of the day.
Thank you very much. 079-994-993. Call we inside the first segment of the Epic Morning Show. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. This is Bakar from Fume.
Bakar, go ahead. 1 minute.
One thing I see about the PR, now future to really how they can make a one party state. And we study basically happen during the days of shaky. Now the same insinuation is in the issue. And the SLPP, they know say they not do anything for the people there. And they know say the only party, then they will pick some of the people that we say they represent Gambia. And the people, even if the people do not agree. So now they will continue to use the PR. And the first part of the poll, at the thing now one day, they get the attention of the people. But we not really solve problem. The problem is we, the ordinary citizens, now how they will build up institutions now.
Okay.
Look like the judiciary, for the independent, police, for the independent, the soldier, they will be independent. They say they need that they expect. Not how they will tell about the interest.
Thank you.
Thank you. 079-994-993. Call inside the first segment of the program. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Epic Radio.
Yes, Mohammed. Good morning.
Yeah, me and Mohammed are the call from Pen.
Yes.
But you know, this year as you can allow start from an Esuma or let me say from Kaba inside. They come to an Esuma. Me then this award more than 65 organizations in this country wouldn't get significant towards this PRC that wouldn't go ahead. Then they say they exempt a smaller political party and now only 2 big political parties. What about 2012 election? Now PR them go on. How many political parties been there in our parliament after 2012 election?
Okay. 079-994-993. Call we inside the first segment of the Epic Morning Show. To look at the passing of the amendment bill in our parliament yesterday and the walkout of APC parliamentarians. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning, Usman Ibrahim.
Commander Jibo, good morning.
My brother, for the effort they do, God will do not the reward.
Amen.
Because all this would talk. We can just see what they want to do. Which one anyone will come up from Commander Jibo, Nina Jibira Canada. You are Paloma, please. Then 2 parties here, not so with the thing, but whether honorable they talk, that can be a neighbor, not of the kind of people they vote to. You know what did happen to? What happened during election time? Now in the same SLPP they do so. So then 2 parties here, maybe they ask me, if you go there ask me, I want to know clean like not in this country again. What is this then? This PIR, thousands of people they say they don't want her. But since then they in power, they say they want her too. Nothing no go spoiler. Yeah. So not only in terms of then the honorable way they talk to now for the people they vote now lie. Which one are that? Let God is judge.
Okay.
Because I don't belong for us.
Okay.
SLPP, APC, not to them get this country. But today, would they come out on the rain? Would they vote for them?
Right.
What is the one trying to do?
Thank you very much.
Constitutional review amendment. Now, wait some more. What is it them? Then to party, anyone wake up a power. What is it? What is it? 9 Peter, 9 they do.
Commander Jibo, thank you.
Go ahead, I do.
079-994-993. Call me inside the first segment of the program. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Pausa, good morning.
Now, thank you, God bless you. And the first thing was Commander Jibo, one of one party. And I'm telling you not talk this. He said, no, all come to one of one party.
What's in the party? What's in the party name?
Okay, for Sido, after we Sido, we again, we get for the party name.
Would I go be the leader, Commander Jibo, or you?
No, me and Amta with others will get for Sido, like with the phone party soon, by God your own power. Because anybody, just kind of more come from party. Because of he say with the Sierra Leoneans who sense is not so look flop away, but would they get sense through this way they go on so they lack answer the point. And if for fine for lay for come with one APC and at the studio,
yeah,
then
we invite APC parliamentarians. They agree for come, but this morning they decline.
Okay, sir, no problem. And once the APC now then be started during annexing time for come with this PRC and this 50+1, once now then be started, why now then they run for this PR? When you know say you not there for help something, you know starter, no go took on them. Then you do the hand when they bobo you they begin Allah. It's like say you not innocent. APC and SLPP. But with the council soon, with the farm party, wait someone now wait. With the council party name. That one not be full and the big full we. They all now what they are.
Thank you.
But now we know say yes and they prepared for we.
Pamusa, thank you very much.
Suleiman can talk.
079-994-993. Call we inside the show. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
You didn't inside call from.
Talk.
Yes, go ahead.
Well done, Pamusa. I really admire you they talk. Now the thing is what they say. APC, now then start this thing. Why now? This thing they done, it is sleep. Now then go wake up. Why you wake this thing? Then now when they talk against that. Hey, politicians, they need fight for we. Some of they tell you this what today because people don't understand. Now then for them self then they fight for now selfish people. How politician able fight for person? And we, the guest again at the studio, we say not to determine this. Who send at the terms are? If you follow people and you talk to not to determine this. Everything that time where they start, it will get challenges them, but it will start. Then lastly, no politician holding at the wall. Mark me word, Mr. Moderator. No politician holding at the wall who able can do for people in this country.
Okay.
Let everybody gets. Not possible.
Okay.
Yeah, they challenge that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
079-994-993. Call we inside the first segment of the program. Hello, good morning. Hello,
good morning.
You never inside the call from?
This is a concern call from Godrich.
1 minute, go ahead.
Okay. My own concern is I just want to ask what happy APC there for promote.
Okay, do call back 079-994-993. Call we inside the program. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
You never inside the call from?
Call from East Station.
Go ahead, 1 minute.
You know, my brother, now other system with politicians. Because opening of favor the APC, that makes the workout. If you remember the APC Bernadette Leiden saying again, Mercedes in the workout. You know, they're not the put the country first, only the political business first. Thank you very much.
079-994-993. Call we inside the first segment of the program. We'll take this one last call and wrap up the first segment of the Epic Morning Show. And we'll look at the passing of the amendments bill in Parliament and the walkout of APC parliamentarians. Hello, good morning. Lamin Samuel Koyaton, good morning.
Yes. How this whole thing come about? Because now in the people like I say SLPP now then are the good people and APC bad. 2002 election we will make. When they peg this PR, young party when have been PLP, then get seats, then get 2 seats in the parliament. And then because it been favor the SLPP, it been good. But what it been hurt them now the fact that PLP been get 2 seats. So this SLPP now them been in power from 2002 to 2007. Now them bring the first past the post, them get majority in a parliament then 10 and day, and now them in power then 10 and day back. How we get first past the post? Now through the SLPP. So why the SLPP they go against waiting then come with back? But now no we say that APC now get the problem. And then 10 and day, these 3 artists where them take up, I think about 4 parties let them get access to the parliament then 10 and day. The same SLPP, hello?
Yes.
The same SLPP back then call this PR system. Right. Then now we see now 2 parties no more in power.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Dr. Bangura, I will give you a chance for hear from the various scholars them. Well, everybody gets different concerns them as to the current issue they discuss. But which could be your last message as we wrap up the show?
Yeah, my last message actually in this an appeal to the general public that yes, indeed, now we vote in with parliamentarians them, but we ask with parliamentarians that let them take decisions way not so for their own advantage or their own disadvantage, but decisions where this nation get for hang on, especially for make, as I begin my discussion today, laws that mean for the common good, the good of everybody, not a sectoral good, not a partisan good, but waiting will benefit everybody. Already from all the speakers, we don't see the reality now. When a particular amendment, a proposal, when they may make, in favor one party, and then the opposition kick against them, and vice versa. That means there's something wrong. So let me go back to the drawing board and say, you know what? From all indications, everybody with common sense, they know say something fundamentally wrong. And so let's go back to the drawing board and make the Supreme Court be cautious on any decision we will take in relation to this matter, because it hang on the future of the politics of this nation.
Reverend Father Dr. Leonard O. Bangura, the former head of department of the political science of the political science department, Nafuabe College. Thank you so much for your time this morning, sir, for your wide knowledge and experience shared this morning here inside the program.
Welcome, Usman.
And up next, we get sports and entertainment news plus media review with Marion Precious George. Until then, my name is Usman Ibrahim Mara. One for established for say we did invite the APC parliamentarians. I mean, and be sure we foresee them go come to the morning show or we go call them inside the program. But last minute, APC declined for an interview. Up next, Marion Precious George.